This is Newsfeed AM. Let's pick up on the markets now. The JSE opening to mixed markets at the start of the week. Tencent trading lower as investors remain wary of what the U.S. Federal Reserve might do next time when it comes to trying to tame inflation. Simon Brown is JustOneLap founder, joins us now for a quick snapshot of what the JSE is doing in early trade. Simon, good morning to you. Let's start with that quick overview of how the local index and in particular the Rand is faring this morning, especially after the Rand touched a 3-month worst level due to a strong dollar.
Yeah, morning, Polly. So we'll start with the Rand. It's improved a little bit, but it's at, where is it now? 17.89.5 against the US dollar. So 21.50 and change and 19.12 against the euro. It's still looking weak. It's picked up a smidgen this morning, but our overall market is green, which, as you said in your intro there, I mean, we had a mixed US on Friday. Asia was red this morning. Tencent was red this morning, but it's not very green. We've got the industrials up 0.25%, the top 40s up just over 0.1%, financials also 0.1%, and a little bit of weakness in the resource stocks. I think what we really were waiting for tomorrow, US inflation, and then Wednesday, local inflation.
Yeah, let's quickly jump into company news. Curo Holdings publishing a trading statement for the year which ended on the 31st of December 2022. Help us make sense of their numbers.
Some good numbers, a lot of moving parts which benefit them, but if we remove those from the equation, they're still looking for headline earnings a share up between 25 and 45%. That's a really good number. They've increased learners by 2,500 to just under 73,000, and they've had some challenges. One, of course, load shedding. At schools, it's not crisis, but it's still a problem and a cost for them. And they've also, unfortunately, because consumers are under pressure, they've had students who are leaving, simply can't afford the fees. But overall, I thought a really good set of numbers. Results out 2nd of March. We'll get full details then. But they're coming in strong. And, this is a classic example where government isn't performing the duty, private sector steps in.
Yeah, well, another company that seems to be suggesting that things are looking up for it is EOH, which has announced that its rights offer has been oversubscribed despite the current tough market conditions. Talk us through those developments and, more importantly, what happens next.
Yeah, I mean, Stephen Fincollier, the CEO at EOH, this is going to be textbook how to turn around a business that really was on its knees. They were looking to raise 500 million from the rights issue. They'd raised another 100 million from one of their investment partners, and they were selling new shares at R1.30 each, and it was oversubscribed. People were looking to buy 135% of what was available. This puts EOH in a much better position. They're a very different business from what they were when they were 180 Rand a share, 7 or so years ago. But this gets rid of a lot of their debt overhang. They've got rid of a lot of the businesses. They're smaller, but they've got their core business there. And this should see them turning profitable, and they can now start, you've done the turnaround, now focusing on growth and getting the business growing and back to new heights. It's going to be a long road still, but so far, incredibly well done.
Let's conclude with Alliance Risk Barometer 2023, which shows that business interruption tops the tourism, hospitality and leisure industry risks. Give us a quick overview of the sentiments shared by this barometer or in this barometer.
I mean, it is tough out there in hospitality and leisure. We've come out of the pandemic. People are traveling again, but there's two pressures there. One is the consumer who's struggling, as you mentioned a moment ago. The other is just that load shedding and uncertainty. I mean, do you go out for a dinner with your significant other if you're worried that the power might go out and you don't know how the establishment's going to manage it? What about holidays and the like? So it certainly is a challenge. For foreign tourists, they seem perhaps slightly less worried about it. And of course, their foreign currency really works for them in South Africa with that weaker rand. But for local, I think that's going to be the risk going forward. It's just that uncertainty and that unknowable. And of course, you can put generators and the like in, but that comes at huge expense.
Yeah. Simon Brown, let me thank you very much for that markets update. JustOneLap founder, giving us a sense of how the JSE is performing in